Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin our show, we would like to go over a couple of house rules. Please refrain from talking or using your cellular device during the performance. The light of your phone can be distracting to other audience members. Please also refrain from using flash photography. If you need to get up during the performance, please try to wait until intermission if at all possible. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited to present this show to all of you. These students have worked so hard to put this production together. This show is a work of the heart. We are very passionate about this show and what it stands for. So on behalf of all the cast and crew, I would like to say thank you to every audience member here tonight. Regardless of the job that you have, we appreciate the work that all of you do. Now, it is my distinct pleasure to present Working.
In 1974, Chicago radio broadcaster Studs Terkel published a best-selling compilation of interviews with a cross-section of Americans talking about their jobs, and these are their words.
I hear America singing. I hear every carol's America singing, singing, the Mason singing, the waitress singing, the mail worker singing, the manager singing, the fireman singing, each one singing, the teacher, the trucker, the cleaner, the housewife. I hear America singing, America singing. It sounds terrible. It's true.
Somebody, don't you wanna hear the story of my life? Won't you come and ask me, please? And pay me $1 million to tell you what I can do at the store. 'Cause if you paid me $1 million, I wouldn't have to go and do it no more. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just like the song sing, all the live long day. Everybody gonna know that song, working for a living the whole day long, all the live long day. Hey somebody, won't you turn your head, take a look my way. I'm getting old, I tell you, getting old ain't nothing new. Soaking in
dying breed. A laborer, strictly muscle work. Pick it up, put it down. Pick it up, put it down. Pick it up, put it down. Typically in the morning, around 7 o'clock, you go wait out by the shanty, and then by 7 you start making your way up the steel. Climbing and climbing every step of that ladder. And every 2 floors you plank it off. And then you untie it from the bottom of the mast to the top of the boom of the choking cable. And from there you go to the other side and pick it up again. I started working on structural steel when I was 18 years old. I was working on buildings 1,000 feet high. Most people are afraid of that height. So typically, iron workers have a pretty big ego because you're doing things most people can't even fathom to do. And plus, when you're an 18-year-old kid putting your hammer in a holster type thing, you feel like a cowboy. I always knew I was going to be an iron worker. My father was an iron worker. My 2 brothers were an iron worker. So it was the natural cause of events for me. My father was disappointed. I didn't go to college. We had a college kid come up to the work site one day, and I guess he must have seen the book in my back pocket, and he looked at me and he goes, "You read?" And that's what hurts, you know? Not getting the recognition that you deserve from other people. It's like looking at a man and saying, "You're just a laborer." Or looking at a woman and saying, "You're just a waitress." It gets to me sometimes. Some mornings I like to look out over the skyline and see all the different buildings. Say that office building over there. I helped build it. But there's probably some guy sitting in the corner of his office behind a $5,000 desk. And I can bet you one bet that he doesn't give me one thought throughout the day. I sure do think about him sometimes.
Amanda, where is that peanut butter report?
It's on your desk.
Why is it not in my hand?
I'm the project manager. I'm here at 7 a.m. and I leave at 8 p.m. In between my meetings, I answer emails and phone messages and try to avoid my boss. You always have a boss. Sometimes you have an okay boss. Other times, you have a Satan boss. He's not right behind me. Okay. Sorry, I wish these walls were a little higher. I've been in all sorts of cubicles. I've been in really tall cubicles, and I've been in half-height cubicles. Honestly, with the way things are these days, I'm happy to be in any cubicle at all. I have friends who would kill for this job, for any job.
I paper the walls in my cubicle with posters. I bring in fresh flowers, and I brought in my favorite ceramic lamp. And I have little things above my computer. I call them my computer gods. You know, I never realized how many decorations I had. But when you're in a cubicle, glow-in-the-dark skeletons, they go a long way.
Sharing a cubicle is kind of like sharing a bathroom stall. It doesn't matter how tall the walls are or how big it is, you're still sharing it with someone else. In not a sexy way. Sometimes I can see the programmer in the cubicle next to me. Sometimes I can even see what she's doing. Mostly emailing jokes to her sister. I also acquired a webcam. I set it up at points behind me, and I have the feed up on my computer. And if anyone walks behind me, I can see them.
I grew up thinking I would get out of college and make $1 million. I grew up thinking that I would wake up one day and there would be a Mercedes-Benz in my driveway. It has been quite a rude awakening. This is the first time in 4 generations that I have it worse than my parents. And jobs are not big enough for people. If you ask someone who they are, more often than not, they define themselves by what they do. I'm a doctor, I'm a carpenter, I'm a sportscaster. If you were to ask me, I would say I'm Amanda McKenney, and at certain points in time, I do something for a living. My mentality is totally different than those who are 20 years older than me. The lifers. I have no real sense of loyalty because I know that they have a business to run and they'll take me off if it's prudent. I accept that. I don't perceive that anyone my age thinks I have a job for life. No. What they feel is, all right, I'm going to make as much money as I can from this company, and then I'm going to move and make more money. This is the first job of many.
Every day, same old thing. Hello, chicken nugget, quarter pounder. And I wait for that phone to ring, the phone to ring. The phone at the end of the counter. I see the manager writing down an order. See the manager making change. When I see the manager writing an address, I whip yes, give me some change and send me on my way. Okay, I'm off on a delivery and I'm finally on my own. Off on a delivery piece and I'm headed part-time. Off on a delivery. Fresh air and exercise. Extra fries. Call me then today. My world is gray until they sing to play on a delivery. Now the wind is in my head. Off on a delivery. No one's watching. I can climb anywhere. But the food is getting cold, so up to as I was told. Responsibilities. I have responsibilities. See, my father sits at home. Doesn't work anymore. While my mother works a double shift at the department store. And it's nice and it works for money. And it's nice and it works for dinner. And it's nice some nights you have to get away. I go to work every day, I'm putting money away. Hey, you know what they say, so steady. I make a minimum wage, it's pretty good for my age. If I commit to say I'll be ready to go wherever I gotta go. Wherever just leads me. But not the restaurant feeds me and my family needs me. Delivery! Yes, their customs always right. Where's my delivery? My delivery! Thanks for getting me out of the house tonight. I keep the order straight and I say sorry if I'm late.
You're late.
This job's gonna deliver me far away.
work. Some people enjoy tennis. I enjoy work. I enjoy being a leader. I enjoy having a team of people all working for me. I enjoy being responsible for a group of people all working for me. You see, in our world of money, money management is still the sexiest job there is. Ask any girl at the East Bank Club. Money's hot. True story. They even did a study that found that just looking at a Maserati, the girls produce twice as many hormones as usual. Now, sure, you may call me a shallow jerk, a corporate tool, a freaking robber baron. I take it as a compliment. Absolutely. Donny's friend, Owen. See, that's what this country is all about. The free market. Sure, it ain't perfect, but if they would just leave it alone, it would sure fix itself better than any regulator can. I mean, who built this country? The SEC, the regulators, or was it the Mellons, the Rockefellers? I mean, whatever did they do wrong? Sure, Rockefeller may have exploited some workers in the copper fields. He may have shot some of them. Sure, not perfect, but who benefited? I mean, how many charities were started by these people? Museums, hospitals, national parks are here for us to enjoy thanks to these robber barons. Sorry, I'm gonna have to take this. Yeah, okay. Just give me 5 minutes. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm gonna have to cut this short before the markets close overseas. See, everyone works long hours these days. Kid's gonna make it, he's gotta be willing to work long hours. And he's gotta outsmart the regulators. I mean, if you can't outsmart one little government staff, don't come to work in the morning. You know, I should teach them. Maybe once this is all over, and I've gotten bored of all this, I can go to the youths, teach them my experience, my knowledge, my values.
The first 2 months I started flying, I had already been to New York, London, and Paris, which is really huge when you're from Kankakee, Illinois. But once you start working for the airlines, you realize it's not all as glamorous as you thought it was going to be. Sometimes people just get nasty. I mean, they're harassed by airport security and then they're brought to us. And our shining personality only goes so far. One time, I was working first class with a load full of passengers, and the captain notified me that we were going to have to make an emergency landing in Chicago because a pin fell out of the nose gear, and when we landed, the nose gear was going to collapse. And I had to prepare the cabin for this, but not for another 2 hours. And I couldn't tell the other flight attendants because they were too new and they would get too excited. So I had to keep this in me for 2 hours. And I was thinking, am I gonna die today? And I was serving drinks and food, and this man got mad at me because his omelet was too cold. I was gonna say, oh, you just wait, buddy. You won't have to worry about that freaking omelet. But I didn't. When I told my parents I was gonna start flying, they were really excited, and my mom was especially proud of me for having the ambition to want to go into the city all by myself. But really, I just wanted to get out of Kankakee.
up in that old semi, and your only companionship is your own thoughts. So, of course, you try to turn up the radio. If you can play it loud enough to scare over the engine. Well, see, we brothers fantasize something tremendous. You think about the girl behind that voice. And soon enough, you start to believe it. Love New Jersey, big state police. Oh, I'm in a hurry. Won't you let me go, please? I'm independent. I ain't got no dreams to go. And the NFL and CIO, they still don't own the road. And the only man telling me where to go is the man who wants to load. And he says, roll, 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 brother. I say where, and you say when. Roll, 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 brother. I'm back on my wheels again. Roll, 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 brother. Backing on up and do it again. Roll, 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 brother. I'm back on my wheels again. Back on my wheels again. Roll, 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 brother. I say where and you say when. Roll, 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 brother. Back on my wheels again. Back on my wheels again. You are clean and green all the way through, big doggy. This is Snowman 10-4. Well, coming home to the wife and the kids can't be sort of a letdown. You see, she's got to raise the kids and fight off the bill collectors. And when you finally do get home, you'd rather be sleeping in bed than getting ready to go out on have a night on the town. You see, I make 2 round trips to Bluefield every single day, and I pass within 4 blocks of my own home. But you know, they say it's easier to just keep going. So I pick up the phone, call my wife, tell her I won't be back. Honey, hello? Tap on the phone. Hello?
Hello, Verizon Tech Support. This is Jane. How may I help you?
Yeah, I just got this thing, and it says I have like 5 bars, but it ain't working.
I'm sorry you're having trouble, sir. May I have the number you were calling?
Yeah, 219-765-1019.
I'm sorry, sir. It looks like all circuits in your area are busy.
Oh my gosh, are you freaking kidding me?
Why don't you wait 5
Oh
minutes?
my gosh! Dad on corners.
Again? You'd think to be grateful to talk to a real-life person instead of a computer. Sometimes you just really want to talk to them if they sound upset. For me, it's a temptation to say, gee, what's the matter? But all you can say is, I'm sorry you're having trouble. If you get caught talking to a customer, that's 1 mark against you. 3 marks in your... One woman once told me, operator, I'm lonesome. Will you talk to me? I said, gee, I'm sorry. I just can't. But you can't. I'm a communications person, and I can't communicate.
So, I always thought of the receptionist as the loser at the front desk taking phone calls all day. But now I'm one, so I had to change my opinion. She had to be special, right? Because I'm so special. I was fine until we had this office party one day. I was having a fairly intelligent conversation with someone when they'd ask me what I do. When I say I'm a receptionist, they made up some lame excuse and walked away. Now I make up other names for what I do. Communications control, entry management. I'm tired at the end of the day.
It's weird, but you get tired of talking. My mouth gets tired after constantly talking for 6 hours straight without a 10-minute break. You can't think about it. You're in a room surrounded by people, talking to people thousands of miles away. Everyone's in a hurry to talk to somebody else, but not to talk to you.
I never listen in on a phone conversation.
Do I listen in on conversations?
So let me tell you.
Some people really do.
I once worked
Especially when you're working late at
all
night.
of the girls would
Some
listen
people
in on
are
a phone
so
conversation.
you'll
I
sit
don't
there
care
laughing
who
till
you
his
are.
teeth
If it's
rolling
late
down
and
your
really
face.
Quiet, you're going to listen in on a phone conversation.
It makes the night go faster.
Sometimes, to make the days go faster, I'll do drawings, Mondrian sort of things, never people. I pretend that I'm alone and it's quiet. I call it the land of no phone.
I never answer the phone at home.
I'm a stay-at-home mom. I guess in my Mother's Day they would have called me a housewife. It's funny, really. It's not like I sit around doing nothing all day and watching soap operas. I have a lot of work to do. You just want something more exciting. Something that you can talk about at a dinner party. Something that matters. What I do only matters to 3 people. All I am is just a housewife, nothing special, nothing great. All I am is someone's mother, and rather, it can wait. All I am is someone's mother, all I am is someone's wife, all of which seems unimportant. All it is just my life. Do the laundry, wash the dishes, take the dog out, clean the house, shop for groceries, look for specials. God, it sounds so Mickey Mouse. Pick the kids up, pick their things up, try to lose weight, try again. Keep the troops fed, pick their things up, lose your patience, count to 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All I am is just a housewife, nothing great. All I do is out of fashion. What I feel is out of date. All I am is someone's mother. Right away I'm not too bright. What I do is unfulfilling. So the TV talk shows tell me every night. I don't mean to complain at all, but they make you feel like you're 2 feet tall when you're just a wife, just a housewife. All they see are the pots and pans and the Pepsi cans of a person's life. Always if you go to work, but you're just a jerk if you say you won't. Just a house, people say that they think it's fine if the choice is mine, but you know they don't. What I do, what I choose to do, may be dumb to you, but it's not to me. Is it dumb that they need me there? Is it dumb to care? 'Cause I do, you see. And I mean, did you ever think, really stop to think what a job it was? Doing all the things that a housewife does. Just a housewife.
UPS?
Oh my, you can't just scare people like that.
Sorry, ma'am.
It's fine. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. You have to make it exciting for yourself, you know? Where is he? I've already been bit once by a Doberman. That's the biggest part of a dog's day, when the UPS man comes. What you do? When nobody's looking, you kick him down the street. Even if he just follows you, you get him for the one you didn't get a couple houses back. That's the big conversation with us, dogs and women. When you see a nice looking babe that kind of bites today, we put a code in this, we put a cute, and that stands for cute teeth. When you see a nice looking honey lying down her backyard with the top strapped on done, if you scare her enough, she'll jump. Add excitement to your day. UPS!
Upper-class working girl. The press call me a socialite, but that's just another word for a well-dressed fundraiser. Fundraising is like candy. You get to talk with interesting people and promote causes you love. What could be more delicious than that? I began in the 80s. I threw a party for Nicaraguan refugee children. It was in Washington, D.C., but it wasn't for the Contras, although I'm sure that would have been fun too. But fundraising is hard work. It's difficult to separate people from their money, but there's a certain finesse to approaching a potential buyer. I never bring up money when I first meet a donor, but it's not a secret. They know why I'm there, but sometimes I like to see how far I can get without asking for a gift. Call me a tease. The other day I was riding around in my limousine during a hotel strike in New York City, and I looked around and there was nowhere to go, and I thought, this is what it must feel like to be a bag lady. I mean, you can't go around picking up every homeless person you meet, but if you can say something entertaining that brings a certain, I don't know, light into their eyes, maybe that's what the word social light means.
Luggage factory. We make suitcases. The tank I work in is 6 foot deep and 8 foot square. In 40 seconds, you have to take the wet felt out of the filter, put the blanket on to draw out the excess moisture, wait 2-3 seconds, take the blanket off, pick up the wet felt and balance it on your shoulder. Reach over, get the hose, spray the inside of this copper screen, turn around to the hot dry dye behind you and pick off the hot piece. Set it on the floor, pick up the wet felt and put it in the dry dye. Inspect the piece we just took off. Stack it, count it, 40 seconds.
You take the wet felt out of the filter.
In the summertime, the temperatures in our workspace gets between 100 and 150 degrees. I've taken thermometers to check it out. I have arthritis in the joints of my fingers, naturally in the shoulder after balancing that wet felt. The hoses will sometimes leak and spray back on you. The hydraulic presses leak and you're slipping on oil. You have the possibility of getting burnt every single time the hot piece hits that wet felt. You're just engulfed in a cloud of steam. Every 40 seconds. The tanks run 24 hours a day. I work 8 straight hours with 2 10-minute breaks and a 20-minute break for lunch. I find it difficult to eat my lunch in that length of time.